Alrighty, everybody. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another live. We are here for a little bit of coverage tonight, as we do have quite a day that's been going on here. We do have a moderate level 4 severe weather threat that is still ongoing here. But anyways, guys, good to see you all. Hope everyone is well. We're going to jump right on into it. We do have actually a tornado warning in effect right now. Here for Illinois, we do have a handful of other severe thunderstorm warnings and stuff like that popping off at the moment. But the one that we got to really look out for right now is this guy over here. This tornado warning that is in effect for central Illinois, including Topeka. This is not Kansas, by the way. This is Topeka, Illinois. Including Forest City, Manitou, Green Valley. Let's see, Delavan, I think it is. South Pekin, let's see here, Tremont, and Hopedale. We do have a tornado warning in effect here. Hopping over to Velocity. Definitely we got something going on over there out there by Topeka area and Forest City. So heads up to you guys. Make sure y'all are in your safe spots. Tornado warning in effect. Now I don't see anything on CC, but like I mentioned many times in the past, it doesn't matter if it's confirmed or if it's radar indicated, you still need to be in your safe spot. What's up, Rocco? Good to see ya. What's up? Let's see, Bryson. Good to see ya. What's up, Squashy? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you guys. Hope everyone's doing good. Like I said, we do have a handful of severe warnings as well. As you can kind of see, we do have a pretty long list of severe thunderstorm warnings. You can see them right here. So we have one for Texas. It shows you the counties listed. It shows you the states listed here as well. Pretty much between Texas, Oklahoma, and Illinois. That's where we have all of these warnings in place here. But yeah, we do have a new tornado warning, relatively new, for the central Kansas, or sorry, it's not central Kansas, central Illinois region, including Topeka, Illinois. That's why I probably said Kansas. It's not Topeka, Kansas. This is Topeka, Illinois. So just a bit of a heads up. It also looks like we do have a pretty good amount of echo returns on here. Definitely looks like we are probably seeing a bit of hail on that as well. Yeah, 1.5 inches in diameter is to be expected also with that storm. So once again, just a heads up towards Topeka, Illinois, Forest City, Manitou, Green Valley, Delavan, South Pekin, Tremont, and Hopedale. Let's see here. Teresa says, hello from Texas. Excuse me. Any more, let's see, bad weather for zip code? Let's see, I'll go ahead and pull this up for Plano, Texas. Yeah, I got you, man. Let me, or man, sorry. I'm just kind of like all over the place right now. Yeah, let me get this over here for you. Here, let's hop on over here. Let me pull this up real quickly. So the thing is once that line passes, you should be mostly good. Actually, yeah, the main line of storms did already pass through. So I think we're good at this point. So yeah, once the main line does pass, we start getting more stable air starting to build into the country, or into the region really. Which, definitely make things a little bit better. We still do have that severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the next 2 hours, just east of you. But yeah, I think you are pretty good in terms of out there. Let's see here. Hello, Andrew, and all from Ohio. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Let's see. It's not even over, and it's already been a heck of an event. Oh boy, yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I really wanted to cover the nighttime for you guys. I really wanted to be here at night for y'all. Let's see. What's up, Ace? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Carbon Wolf says hi. What's up? Good to see you. I did not know that, Haley. Did not know that. But anyways, yeah, hopping back over here, guys, we do have an active tornado warning on in effect here right now. This is, of course, for tornado concerns. Also, a max hail size up to 1.5 inches in diameter here. So definitely, we do have a pretty big hail concern on it as well. I mean, you can see the pretty big echoes that we do have. Some pretty strong velocity, so we're definitely going to keep a close eye on this particular storm. I do want to bring you guys over here real quickly. I'm actually going to bring up the sat view. Let's go ahead and bring up, we'll bring up geocolor for now. We should be able to see a lot of the convection. Yeah, I mean, look at all this cloud cover here. I mean, just from this convection that's ongoing, you can see a lot of that kicking up through Texas, through Oklahoma, through the Midwest, basically, and up in toward the towards the Great Lakes region. Definitely is. It's definitely pretty active, and I do expect it to be, quite active for the next several hours still. I mean, like we mentioned, yesterday, that this is going to be a relatively overnight event as well. Not just during the evening and the afternoon hours, but also during the the overnight hours as well. So I am going to bring up the infrared here. You can really see where the deep convection is going on. You can see portions of like southern Michigan. We do have some deep convection here. If we do bring up our radar out there, we do actually have a couple of strong storms going on here in southern Michigan. Kind of a little bit of a line here, as you can kind of tell. For areas like northern Indiana, like southern Michigan, we do have a little bit, a little bit of severe weather actually on this as well. Just like we do have it's kind of hard to see, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Marshall. This is up here in Michigan, which does have a tornado possible tag on it, and hail up to 0.75 inches, so penny hail, nothing too crazy for hail, but we could also see some gusts here up to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Anyways, let's see, much appreciated for the night coverage. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Let's see. Kimno wants me to look at a zip code. Absolutely. Let me pull this up here for you real quickly. See what we got going on out here. So, okay, yeah, you are still ahead of the storms. The main line is approaching you. You are in a level 2 threat for today, so definitely. I mean, we still need you to be weather aware here. We'll definitely keep an eye on over the next couple of hours, and if there's any warning or anything like that, we'll probably be covering it. But just know that just make sure you have a way to receive warnings as well. It's definitely good. Teresa says it's all good, no worries. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate you. I appreciate all the hard work. I really appreciate it. Thank you for that. Thank you. What's up, Angela? Good to see you, my friend. Saying, hey, I dodged a bullet in Lansing, Illinois today. Tornadoes carried me just just being an hour away. Wow. Glad you're okay though. I'm glad you're all right. All right, let's see here. That's good, Haley. Glad to see that you're taking this serious. What's up, Caden? Good to see you. Let's see here. You meant the zip code. My bad. Oh, you're good. Yeah, let me pull it up real quickly, and then we're gonna hop back to the active storms here. So, yeah, you're in the level 1 threat here. I mean, if we look at the current radar, this is near the Cleveland area, so we don't really have much going on right now. The radar is pretty clear. No big storms or anything like that at the moment. But as we do go down in time, eventually those storms will likely approach you over the next several hours here. Let's bring up the models here. We'll bring up the HRRR. We'll go back to the 0 UTC run, so you can kind of see that line that we're talking about here. So that rolls through. I mean, eventually, yeah, there will be some convection out there. I mean, for pretty early hours, I mean, we're talking like, middle morning for the most part. I mean, just before sunrise. So, yeah, definitely, you need to keep an eye on it. But, I mean, it is a relatively low-end severe weather threat. I mean, you're in the marginal risk, an isolated severe storm possible. It should not be as insane or as crazy as the risk further west here. So that's good. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on it. I mean, it is a relatively low threat, but I mean, even in the marginal risk, I mean, you should still, keep an eye on it overall. Let's see here. Kendall says, okay, thank you. Yep, no problem. You are very welcome. But anyways, guys, we do have a tornado warning in effect right now. This is an active tornado warning. This is the only one we have at the moment. This includes Mason and Tazewell counties here in central Illinois. This is including the regions of Manitou, Forest City, Green Valley, Delavan, South Pekin, I think that's how you say it, Pekin, Hopedale, and Tremont. So heads up to you guys here. This is a radar indicated threat saying, hey, the radar's picked up some rotation within the storm, therefore you need to be in your shelter. But like I said beforehand, guys, I don't care if it's confirmed, if it's just radar indicated, we still need to be in our safe spots. But they also, on top of the tornado concern here, we also do have ping pong ball size hail potential. So just another reason to be away from windows and stuff like that. And make sure you are indoors. If you have a basement or a storm shelter, go there now. If you do not, go to the central interior portion on the lowest floor of your home there. So definitely just please be careful. And if you're in this region, if you know anybody out there, give them a heads up and make sure that you're in your safe spot. Let's see here. Squashy wants me to look at a zip code for tomorrow. Yep, I can do that for you. Let's go ahead and pull this up real quickly. All right, so you, my friend, you're up in Pennsylvania. All right, so tomorrow we have a level 1 threat, I believe. Yeah, you're right here at the level 1. Put you in a 2% tornado risk here. Potential strength of EF0 to EF1. 5% wind threat, and we are out of the hail threat. So a little bit of gusty winds. An isolated tornado cannot be ruled out, although very unlikely. But yeah, that's for tomorrow. That's for tomorrow. Let's see. I'm also curious why they put us in a level 1 hatch risk here by Cleveland. Not much will happen. Probably because of the kinematics. Given that we do have some pretty decent, wind shear out in this area. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a random sounding. This is for 7 a.m. And you can see that we do have some really strong wind shear. From our lower mid levels to our upper levels. I mean, that could really allow for some great organization here. Within the storms themselves. Good enough moisture. Enough instability evenly dispersed pretty much throughout the atmosphere. I could see why they did. I mean, there is some veering there. Given the kinematics, I mean, yeah, it makes sense to me, anyways, why they did that. Squashy says, thank you. You are very welcome. No problem. See, you hate autocorrect. Yeah, autocorrects it can suck, but it can also help out too, so kind of a fair trade in my opinion. Let's see here. What's up, Munge? Good to see ya. Hope you are well. Let's see, wants me to look at a zip code for tomorrow. I have the ingredients for storms because someone said it could miss me, huh? All right, well, let me pull this up for you. Let's see what we got going on out there for you real quickly. All right, so Tennessee tomorrow. Oh, why did it bring me back over here? That's weird. You're in a level 1 threat. Level 1 threat. So that puts you in a 2% tornado risk here, 5% wind threat, and a 5% hail threat. So all hazards are possible, although relatively unlikely. Hop over to models here. Looking at the events, yeah, we do have a line kind of rolling through later on in the afternoon. It appears to be pretty broken according to the HRRR. We could have a couple of isolated severe storms, out of the line being possible. But like I said, once that main line kind of rolls through, at that point, that's when the severe weather risk pretty much goes away. So that's, because we start building in some more stability in the country and stuff like that, or into the region. I keep saying country. Well, that too. What's up, country? Good to see you, my friend. Saying, howdy, Andrew. What's up? Hope you're doing well. Carbon says, or remember, radar quality has improved since the 2000s. Radar indicated is far more credible due to improved scan fidelity. Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, either or, tornado warned for radar indication or confirmed tornado. I mean, I'm going to say this a lot, but either or. I mean, if there is a tornado warning out there, you still need to be in your shelter, regardless of indication. So, does that mean if the tornado touches down, it could be pretty violent? Where at? Wait, weren't you the one up in Ohio? If it's that, given it's a SIG risk, a SIG level 1 means that it could be potential strength up to EF2. But nature, sometimes it could be a little crazy. And, a good example of that was Michigan. I think it was last week in Southwest Michigan, we had that tornado just in a normal 2%. I mean, sometimes nature has other plans, but majority based off of, kinematics and just the general environment, associated with it. We are expecting it to be up to EF2 in the SIG level 1 risk here. Let's see. Just kicking here, can't sleep. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Let's see here. What's up, Free Thinking? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. But let's hop on back over here. So once again, we do have an active tornado warning in effect. We're definitely keeping a close eye on the storm, tracking its way towards the Green Valley area in central Illinois. This includes Manitou, Green Valley, South Pekin, Delavan, Hopedale, and Tremont. So we have to keep an eye out there for this guy. This one is in effect until 12:45 a.m. Central Daylight Time. So we have about 31 minutes left before this does get canceled. But we do have a tornado, and not to mention, not only is a tornado a concern on this particular storm here, but also ping pong ball size hail. So that's up to 1.5 inches in diameter. So we could have some pretty big hail out of that storm as well, which, I mean, if you look at the reflectivity here, you can definitely see. If I pause that here, we do have a pretty big hail core, more than likely, right here where the pink is, right towards Manitou. So, I mean, more than likely, we are seeing probably a pretty big, pretty big hail core out there. Let's see. Just says, oh my gosh, you're finally live. Hi, Andrew. What's up? Good to see you. Yeah, I told you guys I was going to be here during the nighttime. I wanted to cover a lot of the night shift for you guys because I know a lot of people are here during the daytime and stuff like that. So I really want to be here during the nighttime for at least a little bit for you guys. Because, nighttime, arguably, I mean, severe weather is not really the best at any time of the day. But it's a little bit more extreme at night, given the fact that, you can't really see. That's the main thing. Not that the storms are always stronger at nighttime, but more of the fact that, it's harder to see what's going on out there. Therefore, we need to rely more on radar, and you shouldn't really rely on what you see. You should rely on the radar and stuff like that. So, anyways, but good to see you too, my friend. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, we are keeping an eye on it. They actually just updated that tornado warning. They removed it from Manitou, Forest City, and Topeka, Illinois. So this includes Green Valley, Hopedale, and Tremont area here. Once again, tornado and ping pong ball size hail on that storm remains in effect until 12:45 a.m. So got a little bit to go on that one. Was the Michigan tornado in a low Cape high shear environment? More than likely. Yeah, more than likely it was. Are you talking about the last event? The one in Southwest Michigan? I'm pretty sure it was closer to that low, and it didn't have enough or as strong of advection as areas further south. Therefore, I would assume, yes, typically that's how it usually works out at this time of the year. Let's see here. Severe weather was terrible during the night, and yes, I'm doing all right. Good to hear that you're doing good. But yeah, this weather's been pretty crazy lately. Like I said, literally as soon as we went to March, everything just kind of went downhill with the weather. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see here. Cool guy says, what do I think about Central Indiana for the timing? So basically where we're at now, right now it's currently 1 a.m. So it seems like the majority of the storms will be rolling through. I mean, this is showing like 7, 8 o'clock Eastern time with a bunch of storms, a multicellular mode. Here, let's actually hop over here. Just a bunch of scattered convection. A couple of severe storms cannot be ruled out in this environment. But, it could start as early as maybe 4 or 5 a.m. And it's, got to give the models a little bit of wiggle room here because they're not perfect with timing. But yeah, it'll pretty much be kind of the mid, maybe later morning for the most part. Is when we'll be getting these. I mean, it'll be probably right around sunrise. We'll start to see a lot of storms out there. Anyways. Yes, Southern Michigan environment was a low Cape high shear environment. Yeah, I figured it was. Yeah, typically, being Michigan, you're closer to, the typical low that develops. So you have stronger wind shear typically. But you're far away from the Gulf where, you don't get as much moisture. It's not as strong of a advection unless you have like a super strong system and it pulls up enough. But yeah, I figured it was. Free thinking coming in with a $5 super chat, my friend. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Saying, when I get a chance, what am I looking like, please? Absolutely. Here, let me pull it up for you real quickly. So for today, you're good. For tomorrow, we're good. We do have a general thunderstorm threat tomorrow. A couple of booms of thunder can't be ruled out, but it's not expected to be anything severe tomorrow. But then we go into day 3, and still pretty good. We just have another thunderstorm risk here. This would be on Friday. So Friday we do have another general thunderstorm risk here overall, but no, nothing severe. You're looking pretty good out there. Free thinking, I'm not too worried about your area particularly. It seems like we really start to weaken quite a bit as the line approaches you. If we hop back to the models and stuff like that, eventually, as this line does kind of come through, I mean, you could see it kind of coming through. This will be for the morning of Thursday. It does approach as a line, but it's not as strong as it once was here. I mean, I will grab a sounding here. Let me pull up the map that actually shows the towns and stuff like that. It'll probably be pretty good. So here you go. Here's out by Macon. I'm going to grab a sounding right by the line here. So given the way that things are, I mean, D-Cape is pretty low. We do have a lot of, let me actually go a little bit further out of the line, actually. I feel like being close to that precipitation makes it not as good of a reading. Great moisture, decent mid-level shear. I will give it that. These are pretty shallow storms from the way that it looks. It seems like, honestly, we lose a bit of our instability in upper levels and stuff like that by the time the line gets to you. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if this did actually play out the way that the sounding was suggesting, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it was a low-end severe weather threat potential. With that being said, I do want to compare it to the RFS model, though. We'll see what this shows us because it's good to get a bit of a mix in models here. So let's grab another one. This is for 6 a.m. on Thursday from the RFS model. So I mean, not too far off. I mean, in theory, I think you could see maybe some strong gusts, but I don't think it'll be quite damaging. I mean, we do have some pretty low D-Cape values, which would help contribute to damaging winds. And, typically the further out your dew point and your temperature would be on the surface could actually enhance damaging winds. So, I mean, it doesn't really seem like a super crazy environment for, extreme damaging winds or anything like that. So, not too worried about it. It could get a little gusty. It could be a nice little storm to roll through, but other than that, I don't think it's going to be anything too big. Nothing big though, so I wouldn't worry about it. But thanks for the 5. I appreciate it. Let's see. Caden says so. Basically, if the Cape was higher, we could be looking at a tornado outbreak here in Cleveland. Thank God, Mother Nature spared us. So it's not just strictly reliant on Cape and kinematics. It also has to do with like storm mode too. If you have a bunch of multi-cellular thunderstorms in an environment, it could really prevent isolated cells from really kicking up to max potential. Having discrete cells would really enhance that. So it's not just on Cape, not just on Cape, which is instability, not just on kinematics. Also, moisture is a very important role too. And typically, that high up north latitude, we don't get as much moisture, say as areas further south. But we do actually have, a decent amount of moisture still being supplied even up to those northern states there. So, but yeah, the Cape is one of the big things. Let's see here. Hope everyone in the feel Indian tornado. Yeah, I heard about that. That was pretty crazy. I hope everyone's all right. All right out there. Do I see anything for Clarksville, Tennessee in the morning? Let me look here. Let's bring you back over here. Clarksville, Tennessee. Okay, so we are in the thunderstorm risk here for tomorrow, or for today. Sorry, tomorrow. We do have a level 1, which puts us in a 2% tornado risk here. So they don't have that in a significant risk zone. So tornado strength tomorrow would be pretty weak. Potential between EF0, EF1 for the most part. 2% chance probability overall. So, nothing significant tornado-wise. Damaging winds, we do have a 15% non-significant risk. Potential gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. So 15% chance probability of happening within a 25-mile radius around you. And then lastly, in terms of hail, we do just have a normal 5% chance for hail. Mostly between 1 to 1.5 inches in diameter potential. So, we do have a decent little risk here. You should definitely keep an eye on it. Damaging winds being the main concern. Following hail, then isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. But anyways. Let's see here. David says, can I check out zip code for tomorrow? Absolutely. I got you guys. We're here to help y'all. So you're up in Mississippi. Okay, so you, my friend, you do have a level 2 as well. So level 2 slight risk here that puts you in a 5% significant level 1 tornado risk here. So you actually have a decent risk for, a higher risk than the last area for potential tornadoes. So given that it's a SIG level 1 tornado risk here. So first of all, you have a 5% chance probability for seeing a tornado within a 25-mile radius around you. Given it's SIG level 1 means that there is potential for the tornado strength getting up to EF2. So SIG level 1 is equivalent to EF2 or up to EF2. SIG level 2 is up to EF3, and SIG level 3 is EF4 or greater. Or EF0 to EF5, basically, the whole picture. But we have a SIG level 1, so that gives us potential mostly between EF0 to EF2. Now, once again, nature is crazy. Not all the time does nature play out the same way that we have on the outlooks, but nature can do some stuff quite unexpectedly sometimes. I'm not saying there will be ones greater than that, but for the most part, upwards up to EF2, given that SIG level 1 risk here. So. Free Thinking coming in with a $10 super chat. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Free Thinking. That is super nice of you, my friend. That is really, really sweet of you. Thank you so much. Saying thank you, Andrew. You are very welcome. And thank you. Seriously, that helps out a ton. It really, really does. Thank you for the continued support, my friend. I really, really appreciate it. Let's see here. Aviator wants me to look at, Texas. Got a zip code for me. Absolutely. Here, let's pull it up real quickly. Once again, Free Thinking, seriously, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right, my friend, so we do have a couple of storms to the north of you going on right now. We do have the severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the next 2 hours. So as of right now, there is actually a severe thunderstorm warning to your north at the moment. As you can... Why does it keep bringing me over here? But you can see we do have this warning up to the north of you. This does not really include your area. Although, like I said, we do have a couple storms nearby. We could see, a couple strong to maybe an isolated severe storm within the near future. But like we mentioned, once this main line of storms does roll through, you should be good, because at that point we start building in stability. The atmosphere starts stabilizing on the backside. It's more drier. There's not as much moisture. It starts getting better overall. Our surface conditions dry out pretty quickly, and the temperature's lower. The mid-upper level atmosphere takes a little bit of time to adjust, but eventually it does. Think of it as a wedge, like a cold front as a wedge, like a door wedge. at the end, it's very pointy. You know, that's once the cold front hits, and as the wedge moves through, eventually starts changing the upper levels. Anyways, let's see here. My four says, can I please check on Brunswick, Maryland for my daughter? Thank you. Of course, I got you. Let me go ahead and pull that up for you. All right, so, this is probably the Georgia. Let's do Brunswick, Maryland. There we go. Perfect. All right, my friend. Actually, you don't live, or they don't live too far where I used to live, actually. I used to live up in Northern Virginia, not too far away from here. But anyways, we, my friend, are in a level 2 threat. So this is a slight risk here. So we do actually have a 2% chance for tornadoes, and it is a SIG level 1 risk here. So basically, there's a 2% chance of a tornado dropping within a 25-mile radius around her, which is a pretty low probability. I mean, the odds are not in the favor of her actually seeing a tornado, but there is a potential. It's a relatively low risk, but it is a level 1 significant risk. So that means that, you know, if we did get tornadoes, there's a chance that they could range between EF0 to EF2. That's that SIG level 1. SIG level 2 up to EF3, SIG level 3, EF4 and greater. But we are at a level 1 SIG, so that's up to EF2 in terms of strength here. But it is a low probability, just a little 2% chance here. Now, in terms of damaging winds, we do have a 15% chance probability of seeing some damaging wind gusts. Now, in terms of the range, upwards of 60, maybe 65 mile per hour wind gusts within the storms could be possible, but, you know, nothing significant. But a 15% chance, I mean, is a decent possibility. Now, in terms of hail, we just have a 5% non-significant threat, saying that we could see some hail, maybe upwards to basically quarter-sized, 1 inch in diameter, up to ping pong ball size, up to 1.5 inches in diameter. But that's pretty much the range at which we're possibly going to see the hail there. But yeah, so there is a triple threat. I mean, we definitely need to keep an eye on it. Damaging winds is the main concern. Following hail and an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out, although very unlikely. Hopefully that helps. Let's see here. What's up, Bryson? Saying, just got back. How do I think that Kentucky will be for tomorrow for tornadoes? Also, today was nuts. It was pretty crazy. Also live in the southeast area. Gotcha. All right. So, yeah, I mean, tomorrow there's a lot of Kentucky in the risk here. We do have a slight risk. I mean, covering literally the entire state, actually. Look at this. I mean, that goes all the way from the border of Virginia and Kentucky. I mean, yeah, all of Kentucky's in the level 2 threat here. Tornado-wise, we do have the greatest potential for tornadoes being up in the northeastern side of Kentucky overall. So that's that. Now, southeastern Kentucky, where you said you're at, we just have a 2% chance probability. Now, in terms of damaging winds, we actually have a 30% chance up in northern Kentucky, 15% chance out by you. And in terms of hail, just a 5% chance probability here overall. So, yeah, I mean, we'll, triple threat, all hazards on the table, relatively low in chance for tornadoes. Non-significant risk potential between EF0 to EF1 in terms of strength, but, you know, if we did get tornadoes, more than likely to range in that. In terms of damaging winds, upwards of 60, maybe 65 mile per hour wind gusts can be possible within some of the storms. And in terms of hail, 5% chance hail between 1 to 1.5 inches in diameter. So, Anyways, is tomorrow going to be a low cape, high shear setup for northern Ohio? So yeah, I mean, you mean like pretty much now, within the next couple of hours. I mean, we do have a lot of shear, given that we're close to that low. In terms of kinematics, that is, you can see that our wind shear is pretty good. In terms of cape, I mean, we do have a good 1,500 joules per kilogram. I wouldn't consider that low cape. I mean, it's not anything significant. I'd say it's modest. So, I mean, it's a little bit of instability. I wouldn't call it a low cape, high shear environment. I call it a mid cape, high shear environment. Let's see here. Thank you for Brunswick. Hopefully, her insomnia has her up. We'll tell her to make sure she's severe weather. Absolutely, you are very welcome, and hopefully, she'll stay up for a little bit to watch it. But that's up in Maryland. I mean, this is not for tonight. I will actually let you know on that. So by the time that she could get the storms, would actually be tomorrow evening. That's kind of the timing in which the line of storms does approach. Between now, I mean, a couple showers can't be ruled out, given what some of the models suggest. But you can see the main line. This is actually going to be for later on Wednesday. Later. This is not for today, by the way. So I want you to let her know that it's not for today. It's for actually tomorrow evening. So, but you're welcome. You're welcome. Gabe says, hey, man, just dropping by. How is South Haven, Mississippi doing tomorrow? So, yeah, Mississippi's actually in a pretty decent risk here. Let's see here. South Haven. Here we go. South Haven, Mississippi. So we do have a level 2 threat tomorrow, which puts you in a 5% SIG level 1 tornado risk here. So we do have a potential for tornado strength upwards to EF2 given the SIG level 1 risk that is here. Here, let's bring you guys over this. So we do have that 5% chance for that. In terms of damaging winds, 15% chance, and in terms of hail, a 5% chance. Yeah, hail tomorrow shouldn't be as big of a concern as it was today. But anyways. Let's see here. Thank you very much. Was checking on that. See for me, my girlfriend, because she was worried. Yep. You're very welcome. No problem. You are very, very welcome, my friend. Let's see. Squash says new tornado warning. Really? Really? Oh, yeah, there is. There is. Let's go ahead and hop on over to that real quickly. That's up in where, Oklahoma? Let's see. We'll grab Arkansas. Yep, Eastern Oklahoma. All right, so new tornado warning in effect, y'all. Eastern Oklahoma, including the Red Oak and McCurtain area. So that is in effect here. Let's see, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 5 miles west of Red Oak, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Radar indicated threat. So, like I said, still need to be in your safe spot. So if you have a basement or a storm shelter, go there now. If you do not, go to the central interior portion on the lowest floor of your home. So that is that. So be sure that you guys are staying indoors, obviously well away from windows and in your safe spots here. If you're in a trailer or mobile home, I would recommend getting out of it and going and finding a more sturdier structure. Because unfortunately they will not provide any protection. So definitely would recommend that you go find a sturdier structure. But once again, this does include eastern Oklahoma for the Red Oak area as well as McCurtain. Let's look at velocity here. Definitely got a little bit of rotation. Looks like kind of towards the Red Oak, maybe slightly west of Red Oak area. Correlation coefficient, I do not see any debris detection as of now, but does not mean that there won't be any tornadic activity in the future. There is a warning here. We do expect that there could be some, maybe some tornadic activity on this particular storm. So we definitely need you guys to be in your safe spot. So, like I mentioned before, if a tornado warning is issued, you need to take action. Let's see here. The tornado warning in Illinois seems to be weakening. Granted, radar position not favorable for easy reading, but it looks like it's weakening. We'll definitely keep an eye on it. Definitely. Gabe says, I remember March 31st, 2023 outbreak. The outbreak was nuts. Yeah. I have a hard time remembering a lot of past events, unless it was, super significant. I find it crazy that last April 2nd, when we had that high risk, that was literally my birthday. We had a high risk on my birthday, which was kind of crazy. But I do remember that. I remember that event being pretty decent, too. So... let's see here. Maggie wants to know, what about Springfield, Missouri overnight? Absolutely. So if we hop on back over here for a moment. So given the risk we have for today, so we do have a level 2 threat here in Springfield. In terms of tornadoes, we do have a 5% chance probability for tornadoes. So basically, within a 25-mile radius around you, there is a 5% chance probability of a tornado dropping within that radius. Now, given that we are in the SIG level 1 risk here, that gives potential for tornado strength possibly up to EF2 in terms of maximum strength. Now, that does not guarantee we won't have any potential for any stronger tornadoes. It's just we're expecting the tornadic strength to be within those parameters. So that is a 5% chance probability. So in terms of damaging winds, we do have a 15% non-significant risk, meaning that we could see, once again, within a 25-mile radius around you, there's a 15% chance. We could see some gusty winds within some of these storms up to 60 to 65 miles per hour. So that is that. So we do have a bit of a wind potential. And lastly, in terms of hail, actually, we do not have a hail threat here at all. What's kind of weird, though? I think this program's glitching, actually. Yeah. Right, look at that. That's weird. Let me double check on that. I think there is a bit of a glitch going on with this program. I think you are included in the hail threat. So definitely keep an eye on it. Here, let's pull it up on maybe this other program. We'll see. Hail. That's weird. That's really weird. Huh. Or maybe they're actually just updating the day one outlook. Maybe that's exactly what it is. Okay. Well, anyways, but yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on it. Springfield area. Let's see. We'll hop over to the current radar right now. So Springfield at the moment, we do have that severe thunderstorm that tornado watch in effect for the next 3 hours. The main line is still to the west of you. It is tracking in the general direction. It'll still be a little bit before it gets to you. But yeah, we'll definitely be keeping want to keep an eye out there for the line out there. Mainly damaging wind gusts, isolated tornadic activity cannot be ruled out. So please be careful. Let's see here. Ace says, "How about Conway, Arkansas, overnight into the morning?" Let's see. I thought I knew where Conway was. Maybe I don't. Let's see here. Conway, Arkansas. Here we go. That's right. It's out by Little Rock area. Gotcha. Okay, well, we do not have any watches or anything like that in effect right now. Storms will be rolling through that area. It's weird because, honestly, if we hop over to the RRFS model, it does show kind of a line you can see coming through and then eventually just kind of fading out, and then another line kind of developing just south and east of you. So, according to the RFS, it kind of misses you. But I still think you could have definitely some storm activity here. I mean, you're in the risk area. I mean, if we do get it, it'll be really early. I mean, it's still several hours out before the main line kind of approaches that region. I'd say at least 3 hours or so. But we'll definitely keep an eye on it. We'll just have to see how it goes. I mean, models. I mean, this particular model here. Let's actually look at the HRRR to kind of compare. We'll definitely see how this one shows. Okay, this one's actually, obviously, you can see a little bit different, showing that line basically right around like 5, 4, maybe anywhere from 4 to 6 a.m. But yeah, so it'll be roughly around that time, but you're still a couple hours away from it. The new SPC Day 1 Outlook is out. Maybe that's, okay, that probably explains why it's doing that. Gotcha. Let's see, it was hailing earlier big time. Really? Was it? How big of hail was it? Let's see. Good evening. See, snowing pretty good out there, just outside of the Twin Cities. Oh yeah. You know what? I kind of forgot about that. Honestly, we do have a bit of a winter weather side. I've been so focused on the severe weather. I honestly haven't really thought about the the winter weather side of it. So yeah, looking at the current radar here, you can see we do have a bit of snow actually ongoing for portions of Nebraska, bits of South Dakota there, bits of Minnesota, Wisconsin. Yeah, and then you can kind of see where this main line is right now. Rolling through bits of Missouri. We have that one cell up by Illinois, northern Indiana, and obviously down here by like eastern Oklahoma. It's kind of a big, messy line, honestly. I mean, it's just all over the place. So, let's see here. Maggie. They're amazing animals, aren't they? Let's see. I have 3 cats. Can I look at Rudy, Arkansas overnight? Yes, I can. I can do that. Pretty much same area, though, that we kind of just looked at, but I can pull it up for you. Let's see here. Rudy, Arkansas. Oh, here we go. Rudy, Arkansas. Oh, you know what? Actually, no. I thought Rudy was more central Arkansas. Maybe not. Anyways, but no, a little bit different for you, actually. So, yeah, western Arkansas, we actually have a bit of activity starting to pop off. Seems like we have a bunch of just scattered storms popping off. These guys are not currently severe, but we do have a line you can see over here eventually working its way towards you. So, it'll probably be stormy over the next couple of hours. But once you get this initial line here, once this kind of goes through, your severe threat will pretty much be over with overall. Matter of fact, look at this. They actually just added a special weather statement for these storms rolling through your area. Potential wind gusts up to 55 miles per hour and possible hail up to penny size. Let's see here. Softball size hail in Illinois, maybe Indiana also. Right now? Here, let's bring this back up here. We do have, I don't see any considerable warnings in effect. Was that earlier, maybe? There's pea-sized hail here. Oh, I got you. Gotcha. Looks like a busy night for the South. Yeah, I mean, not just for the South, but, a lot of the plains, the Midwest, and the Ohio Valley mostly. Tomorrow, though, yeah, we have another day worth of severe weather. If we actually hop over to tomorrow's threat here, actually, you know what? This is the new day 1. So this includes later today, pretty much. But yeah, wow, they expanded that slight risk a bit. I think, anyways. I'm pretty sure they moved it. Oh, shoot, we got a new tornado warning. Okay, we'll get to that here in 1 second. I'm pretty sure they made it bigger. Wow, look at that. Oh, you know what? They added the 5% more in the... Who was in the chat earlier? who said Maryland, talking about their daughter. I don't know if they're still here or not, but they actually increased the threat from a 2% to a 5% now. So that's now a higher probability. Wow. So that's actually out there by the DC area, Baltimore. Yep. So they expanded the 5% tornado threat for later today, for later on this afternoon, evening's threat. Not for now. We still have the valid day one outlook as the moderate risk. That's crazy. That's crazy though. But they definitely made that bigger. Let's see here. We got a 30%. Wow, look at that, guys. 30% significant wind threat down here by Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama tomorrow or later today. Then they had a 30% non-significant threat. So greater probability up here, greater maximum damage potential down here. So you can, it's really nice with the new system how you can kind of see how they did that. But wow, yeah, they definitely upgraded that quite a bit. Hail, they did actually upgrade that. It was a 5% all throughout. Now we have a 15% chance. So they definitely upgraded tomorrow a little bit. Goodness. Let's see here. Oh, what's up, Maul? Good to see you. Let's see. No, earlier. Gotcha. Haven't been on your stream in 3 months. My old phone got worn out. Got a new phone back in Christmas. Love it. I'm glad you like it. Well, good to see you, my friend. Let's see. Am I planning to stream the weekend snow event in the upper Midwest? I wasn't planning on it. But, I've been mostly kind of focused on all the severe weather kind of going on lately. But anyways, see, I'm still here making sure to keep her and her husband, sister-in-law aware. Gotcha. Well, yeah. I just wanted to let you know that, yeah, they did upgrade the threat for Maryland now to a 5% tornado risk. It was at a 2%. We had a new outlook just come through, and they did actually upgrade that threat. Let's see here. Binksy says, "Hi, Andrew. Looks like nocturnal tornadoes are back on the menu. Unfortunately. Good to see you, my friend. Could I please explain the new SIG, the SIG 1 for 5%? What does it mean versus a regular 5%? That's a great question, and absolutely, I can do that for you. So the percentage is based off of the likelihood of seeing a tornado. So, for example, the green is a 2% chance. We're not thinking about, ignore the significant for now. So 2% chance for tornadoes. The brown is a 5% chance. Then it would be yellow, which is a 10% chance, and so on. So basically, the SIG level 1, which is this dashed region, so this is where we could see tornado strength being greater. So the probability is how likely you are to see a tornado. The SIG strength is how strong the tornadoes potentially could be. So SIG level 1, which we do have for tomorrow, which is our max tornado threat as of now, SIG level 1 means that we could see tornadoes between EF0 and EF2 in terms of strength. Now, in terms of if it was to be a SIG level 2 threat, which is the new SIG level that they've added. If it's a SIG level 2, it means that we could see tornadoes up to EF3. So then it goes to SIG level 3, which is maximum. That means we could see violent tornadoes, potentially EF4 or greater, up to EF5. So that's how the new system works. So SIG level 1, tornadoes up to EF2. SIG level 2, tornadoes up to EF3. SIG level 3, tornadoes up to EF5. So that's basically how that works there. And then, like I said, the color is just the probability of you seeing it. So it's the same. Say if there is we'll pull a hypothetical here. Let's just say that Louisiana, this side over here is in the SIG risk. Say this was just a normal 5%. So it means that you're still likely to see, the probability of seeing a tornado is still the same for both areas. It's just the SIG level area has a greater potential of seeing stronger tornadoes, up to EF2 with the SIG level 1. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes kind of sense. It's a whole new system. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but it really makes more sense because it really tends to break down more of the probability versus intensity of the storms, of the tornadoes. So hopefully that helps. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to ask. Let's see. They work in 3 different locations, including DC. I guess I know. See. I know what project is for tomorrow weather. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, we'll definitely try to be here probably later on tomorrow as well for coverage. Maggie says, "Is there anything in Springfield?" Just started screaming my name in my eyes or so. What? Well, is that Springfield, Missouri? I'm thinking. Let's hop back over to Springfield. Right now in Springfield, there's nothing going on. If it's Springfield, Illinois, we do have a little bit of storms to the north of Springfield, Illinois, but storms, we play this in motion, are moving relatively eastward, which should be, actually, you know what, we're we might get some storms relatively soon in Springfield over the next couple of hours. That's Illinois. But if you're talking Missouri, then yeah, we're still in the clear for now. But give it a little bit. Then yeah. So yes, that makes sense. Gotcha. Chris says it's all in theory. Absolutely, absolutely. I mentioned that before and a little bit ago that, that's why I say up to EF2, up to EF3, depending on the sig risk. But like I was saying before, you can have some micro environments that models can't pick up on that you could actually have even stronger tornadoes within that risk. It's just based off of the knowledge that we know kinematic wise. I mean, just general environment, like I said before. How strong tornadoes could be. But absolutely, yes, it is in theory. Let's see here. Oh no, if it's there, scream my name. Okay, I was a little confused. I'm like, what do you mean? Nah, but we're good. We're good. Now, I mean, like I mentioned right now, actually we do have a couple of tornado warnings here in effect here. Let's go hop over to that real fast. I mean, this is coverage. I do need to maybe pay a little bit more attention to what's going on now instead of just forecasting. But yeah, I mean, we do have a new tornado warning in effect. This is southeastern Oklahoma. I believe this is mostly rural areas, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, but this does include the area. Let's see. It doesn't really show many areas. I mean, it does include a little bit of obviously southeastern Oklahoma mostly, but there's a little bit that goes into southwestern Arkansas for Gillham. Is it Gilham? Gilham? I'm not sure how you say it. But that is in southwest Arkansas. So, let's see. I'm curious when the storms down on the coast will fire. What coast? Which coast? Because if we're looking at or do you mean just down by the Gulf Coast in general? I'm assuming it'll probably reach out by here. Let's just pull up the models. We'll go and look at those real quickly. Let's see here. All right, we'll get rid of that. We'll add back our models, and we'll switch you guys back on over here. So, anyways, we'll get rid of our precipitation type reflectivity. Okay. So, I mean, the main coastal storms for like Louisiana should fire off tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, for the most part. It'll go through, even through the overnight hours. Actually, you know what? Eventually, this is going to come over towards me. By the time it reaches over in Florida, it'll be broken up for the most part. But it just depends on what coast you're talking about. The Gulf Coast. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it shows some storms firing off here. Roughly pretty much tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening is when we're expected to get the main storms rolling through. What's up, Scott? Good to see you. Maggie, you're in Missouri. Okay, yeah, Springfield, Missouri. Yep. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it, but yeah, you can look at the radar right now. So here's Springfield. We have the storms over here to the northwest. We have a little bit more activity to the southwest here. If I do play this down in time, play the radar in a loop here, I mean, it is tracking in the general direction, but, it's still a little ways away out. It's going to take a little bit by the time it pops off, or by the time it gets over here, essentially. You do have a tornado watch in effect for the next 3 hours, though. So that is there, which I'll be live here as long as I can stream, essentially. See a big old squall. It's a very broken squall. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. Here, let's hop back over to here. Here's satellite imagery. I do want to actually bring up another page here. We'll bring up the current radar. We'll pull up MRMS. We'll do merged reflectivity here. Yeah, it's just kind of a bunch of collective broken squalls from what it looks like. I mean, we have kind of a little bit of a line, actually a little bit of a Boeing segment up here in eastern, kind of south central, southeastern almost Michigan. A little bit of a bow. We need to look out for that. Then that goes up into northern Indiana. And then we have this other line that goes pretty much from Illinois through Missouri. And then we have another line up in eastern Oklahoma. And then we have like another little line up here in Texas. It's really just kind of broken up. So yes, I work in such a long shift that once I fall asleep, I sleep so heavy. Metallica would play in my room and would sleep through. Gotcha. Metallica, good band. Really, really good band. I've actually been listening to them a lot lately. But yeah, no, absolutely. Just please be careful. Please. We'll definitely keep an eye on it, but right now it's still a little ways away out. Squashy said I'm ready for tomorrow. Bring it on. Yeah, that sounds like what I would say, basically. My mom could vouch for that in the chat. But anyways, that is that. But let's hop back up here to the active tornado warnings. We do have not one, but 2 tornado warnings in effect. What's up, Max? Good to see you, man. 2 tornado warnings in effect. Our radar is a little iffy, but we do have a tornado warning in effect for McCurtain. I was going to make a very bad joke, but I'm not going to. I was going to say it had... it's like a hardware store in McDonald's called it a McCurtain. Such a bad joke. Anyways, but we have McCurtain in a tornado warning here. I'm just trying to make a little bit of a light out of a dark time. But yeah, make sure you guys are in your safe spot. We also have this other warning. Like I said, it doesn't really show a whole lot of areas. Let me try my other program maybe. Does it show areas? So southeastern Oklahoma, including Stephens Gap and Hokatown. Also, we have like southwestern Arkansas, including Gillum. So... Chris says mini squalls. Yeah, there's a lot of them. How do you tell the difference between rotation and colors just mixing? That's a really good question. So sometimes you can get radars, which, depends on elevation you're scanning and stuff like that. That can make it a little bit hard to determine. But usually, I mean, you can kind of tell. Like for an example, this is just random colors mixing for the most part. Just different velocities. But sometimes you can get like these little areas where they become like kind of concentrated. It's really kind of hard to show you unless I have like a full on example. Here, let me show you a velocity couplet. Let's see. And this should be able to kind of show you what an actual area of rotation would be to look like. It's really kind of hard to explain verbally than it is to just literally show you what it looks like. Let's see here. Here we go. Perfect. So there you go. You can kind of see that's what a velocity, that's what tight rotation would look like. You can kind of see it's you have an area of winds moving away from or air moving away from the radar in the red, and then air coming towards the radar in the green, and then you have this tight little area that's sandwiched right between it. It's really tight couplet basically. That's what an area of rotation would look like. Then you have all this stuff, that looks just like random colors and stuff. It can be a little tricky with the radar color table as well. This particular radar is not the best, but but anyways. Let's see here. But good question though. Max says, question, will Knoxville get any tornadoes tomorrow night? The odds are extremely low, but there is, I believe, there is a 2% chance probability for tornadoes for later today. So that is a 2% chance probability. So basically, the way that works is that within a 25-mile radius around you, there is a 2% chance probability that a tornado will drop within that radius. So there is a 2% chance. It's a relatively low-end threat. I mean, the odds of you literally seeing a tornado is pretty darn low, but, it cannot be ruled out completely. It's very unlikely, though. Let's see. Sounds like me, Drew. I'm screaming no, and you say bring it on. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep. I always love a good storm. That's just how it goes. All right, let's hop on back here. They did actually cancel that one tornado warning here, y'all. So we had a tornado warning in effect for McCurtain. So they canceled the McDonald's hardware menu. That is no longer in effect. So that's good. Y'all are good to come out of your shelters. Then we have that one tornado warning in southeastern Oklahoma. Where did we say that was? That was for those areas don't pop up on this radar for some reason. They must be really small areas. They're not even popping up here anymore. Oh, you know what? I think they updated it. Yeah, so mostly rural areas in southeastern Oklahoma out by the Broken Bow Reservoir. But then we have Gillum still in the warning here in southwestern Arkansas. Let's see, our weatherman was just saying it's just rain and damaging winds. Where at? Because if he's talking collectively, that's wrong. Because there's tornadic activity going on. There's tornado warnings popping off. Right now, we are down to just one tornado warning in Arkansas, the one that we're looking at right now, which unfortunately the radar is a little iffy. And once again, another moment where I kind of wish we had another radar over here. It's kind of crazy the fact that we have a bit of a radar hole. Northeastern Louisiana, southeast Arkansas, and then right where this tornado warning is, that we have one that's up here in West Central, out by Fort Smith, West Central Arkansas. And then the other one's over here by Dallas, and another one over here by, Shreveport area. So Let's see here. Max for Knox. Oh, Knoxville for tomorrow night. Oh, gotcha. Well, no, there is a 2% chance for tornadoes here. I mean, the odds are pretty darn low that you'll see a tornado. I mean, definitely a pretty low probability, but the threat is there. I mean, you can see it right there. This is from the SPC, but the main threat will possibly be damaging winds and maybe some hail too, even. So, yeah, I don't know why your local weather guy left that out. That's interesting. Yeah, he should have went over everything because there is a hail threat, there is a little tornado threat, and there is damaging winds. Well, damaging winds are probably going to be the main driver. That's not the only thing. So, interesting. But anyways, guys, if y'all have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. We are here to help y'all. If you want me to look at any zip codes, any forecasts, or anything like that, let me know as well. We'll be here to help you guys. But we are watching this tornado warning. It shouldn't have too much longer on it. Let's see. We have 30 minutes left on this storm here. See, a tornado radar indicated rotation. Let's see here. What does it say it is? Yeah, including Gillum. That's the main area that's in the warning here. So we will definitely keep an eye out there for it. But that's the only tornado warning we have. We have a whole bunch of severe warnings here popping off. Let's see. Bring back up our reflectivity here. So we do have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for central Missouri, including the Warsaw, Coal Camp, Pilot Grove area. If we hop back over here to northern Indiana, we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings as well, which this includes, whenever it loads, it includes Elkhart County, LaGrange County, Noble County, which the towns include Milford, Syracuse, Leesburg, and then the other one for Rome City, Walcottville, Kendallville. Let's see. This one's just 60-mile-an-hour wind gusting quarter hail for the Walcottville area. Rome City. The one to the west is Milford, Syracuse, and Leesburg, North Webster. This is for just 60-mile-per-hour winds. We could see hail up to penny size, but pretty low probability. Or pretty low potential there. Power poles were snapped near the intersection of Toboggan Avenue and Chapel Road. Wow. So that was in, where's that at? It's in Green Valley, Illinois. Got that reported a little bit ago. Okay, let's hop back to Illinois here. We do have a pretty strong storm out by Bloomington, which was actually previously tornado warned, but they removed that warning. That they did. So here's the big picture. Let's see, we're going to actually load up my color table here. We'll get that going. Max says he showed the tornado outlook, but he said storms will more than likely die down after that. After they make it to Knoxville. Yeah, that's fair. They'll definitely lose strength because we definitely start to lose a lot of instability and stuff like that in the environment. Yeah, they will weaken, but that doesn't mean that there's not going to be any threat at all. There is going to be that potential for all hazards, tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds will all be a bit of a possibility. So, but anyways, let me see. Can I move this? I don't think I can. All right, let's hop back to sat view for a minute. I'm going to get rid of the, there we go. There you go. So now you can kind of see where some of the heaviest convection is. We have a lot out there by the Fort Smith area. That's over there in eastern Oklahoma that we were looking at, actually. Whoa. We got a new tornado warning, actually, just popped up here in Oklahoma. I literally just saw Squashy's comment as soon as I saw it pop up here. Squashy, you're quick. You're on it. Yep, we got a tornado warning in effect. This includes, so this is eastern Oklahoma. This includes the Bokashee area, Panama, see Cowlingtonville, or sorry, where did Ville come from? Cowlington, sorry. Tucker, Fort Coffee. Let's see here. Muldrow, Roland, let's see, Moffett, I think it is. Long. There's literally a town called Long and Remy. So those areas are in the tornado warning here. Let's see here. So this is a radar indicated threat. Like I said, doesn't matter. Still need to be in your safe spot. Okay, so let's hop over to velocity here. Looks like we have a little bit of something kind of just south of Bokashi, maybe. I think that's how you say that. Let's see. Chris says that big storm earlier was a wedge on the Illinois-Indiana border. Was it that? Oh, that one storm up in Illinois right now? Wow. Yeah, today was pretty nasty. Yeah, I saw they upgraded it to a moderate risk here earlier this afternoon. I've been total night shifting. I mean, I've been awake during like most of the night, asleep during the day, for the most part. And I saw it was pretty crazy. I was surprised whenever they pulled out a moderate. I'm like, wow, they did that. Squashy says I got all eyes on radar. That's good. You're really helping out. I really appreciate it, Squashy. I do. It's always good to have more than one person watching, especially because if I'm looking at somebody's zip code or something like that and I'm not panning over the radar as much as I should be, then yeah, it helps. Actually, we just got a new severe warning just to the north. So that includes Brushy, Atkins, two different areas, Brushy and Atkins, Stony Point, Bell, Salem, Evansville. So that at that point, that's when it goes into Arkansas. Then we have Dutch Mills, Arkansas, Lee Creek, Natural Dam. So, yep. That is in effect for just 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here. Likely some pretty strong winds out by Atkins here. This is scanning about 1,400 feet. You know what we're going to do? Got our 3D volumetric scan here. You can see these storms are roughly about 40,000 feet, at least from the precipitation. The precip being scanned is up to 40,000. The clouds are higher than 40,000 feet because the radar only scans the precipitation within the storms, not the clouds themselves. But I mean, it's you can see where we have taller columns here. That's likely where we have a lot of strong vertical velocities, a lot of strong updrafts. I mean, the whole line basically just becomes an updraft. It just starts sucking in air from like ahead of it. Excuse me. My allergies have been starting to get to me lately, and it's like, oh, come on. I do want to take a minute to let's go look at these. Excuse me. Let's go look at these Missouri storms here. Pull these ones up too. Wow, look at that line. These ones seem to be a bit more shallow. Here, let's do a cross-section mode here, maybe. Yeah, these ones seem only about like 30,000 feet or so. These ones seem a little bit more shallow. We can actually just look at echo tops. Storm tops about 35,000 feet on these cells up in Missouri. And then in eastern Oklahoma, these guys are definitely higher, about 45,000 feet. Yeah, these storms are a lot taller, the ones up in Oklahoma. Taller storms could definitely affect strength of the overall storm. That's why it's important to look at echo tops every once in a while. Let's see. The only reason I asked about my area for tornadoes is because I'm in a mobile home. I was wondering if I needed to be prepared for tornadoes in Knoxville, but thanks for answering my question. Of course. Yeah, no problem. It's a pretty low probability, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But yeah, I mean, definitely keep an eye on it. And if there's a warning that does get issued tomorrow or later today, then yeah, keep an eye on it. And let's see here. Jess says, how is Noblesville and maybe areas around that looking for tonight? I want to rest without being warned here in Indianapolis. Gotcha. So Indianapolis here, I believe the line has already rolled through for the most part. Let's see. Yeah, Indianapolis, you're looking... Actually, you know what? No, I was thinking of Illinois. Never mind. I don't know why I was thinking Illinois. I'm sorry. But yeah, if we hop on over here to this, you're still good. I mean, you're pretty clear right now. Pretty good for now. Let's actually bring up models. Let's see where the models show. Here, we'll hop up to here. We'll bring you guys back over here. Okay, so this is the HRRR here. Okay, so this is showing 8 a.m. is when the main mass of storms approaches you. So, I mean, this is pretty early. I mean, you could go to sleep, but just make sure you have a way to receive warnings and that you have an alarm maybe to wake you up if you want to. I'd set an alarm for maybe like 6 o'clock in the morning if you want to stay up for the main part. Um, yeah, and then it should be out pretty much by noon for the most part. Let's see. Drew, it's a cool radar where you can see the line and all. Yeah, this is a GR2. This is actually a fun fact. My first radar program I ever got for a computer, anyways. But yeah, it's really neat. I can do sector slices, so I can just scan a single area and it shows me all elevations. So I can see the thickness of storms, what's going on in specific parts of the storm, what areas have heavier precipitation. It also has velocity too, so it helps me determine, like updrafts and stuff like that. Correlation coefficient could show you like how high debris is being lofted in a tornado. It's very useful. And then of course you have the cool one, volumetric, which shows you on a 3D plane rather than 2D, which is really cool. Yeah, I agree. Super, super neat. You can also kind of see what's going on in the storm, kind of up close and personal. It's pretty neat. It's really cool stuff. But once again, everybody, we do have a tornado warning in effect. We are watching up in eastern Oklahoma. This includes the the Panama area out there by Tucker, Callington, Fort Coffee, Muldrow, Rowland, Remy, and Long. Is it good that the Missouri storms are not as high and deep? Yeah. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that they won't be severe or not. It just means that there's less thickness. Typically the thicker storms you have, the more heavier rains and stuff like that there could be. Typically, I mean, if you don't like severe weather, you'd want a thinner storm. But it doesn't always determine like if storms will not be strong or not, essentially, if that's what you're asking. No, I mean it's cool. It's cool to see. I mean, taller storms usually are big rainmakers. They can be because you got more meat on the storm essentially. So, just says oof. Okay, thank you. Yeah, no problem. Max says, do I think the prefrontal supercells will form in Tennessee or just the two hatch areas for later today? Well, let's see what the models say, actually. So it looks like out there in eastern Tennessee, mostly just the line of storms happen. But then you got areas, yeah, in the one SIG level 1 risk where there could be some prefrontals. Eastern Tennessee, I mean, there's a couple showers that could develop, but more than likely it'll just be the main line here overall. Up north, yeah, there could be a little bit of prefrontals as well. Let's see here. What's up, Carrot? Good to see you. Saying, hey, bro, today was crazy. It really only took one storm. Didn't expect a tornado emergency. Yeah, that's crazy. So, was it actually a tornado emergency or was it a PDS? Because I heard PDS. I didn't hear tornado emergency. That's crazy. Was that the one in Wheatfield? Huh. Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, I was looking every once in a while at the storms to see how they were, but I was asleep most of the day because I'm doing night shift for the most part, so I'm awake during the night. So, but yeah, I mean, from what I heard, it's definitely a pretty nasty day. I mean, it's still pretty active, for being 2 a.m. One local to some of these storms. I mean, there's still tornado warnings going off here. It was a tornado emergency for Knox. What state was that in? Huh. Max says, okay, thanks, man. I'm going to try to get some sleep. Have a good night. You too, dude. Get some good rest. The town, near it, Lake Village, was extremely damaged. Oh, really? It was a tornado emergency near Knox. Was that, hold on. Knox. Was that Knox, Indiana? Oh, okay. Okay, Chris. That makes sense. Wow. Yeah, I did see up there that they had that moderate, that big tornado potential. Wasn't it a 15%? I only briefly looked at it. But yeah, I mean it was pretty crazy. Thankfully, it's not over yet, but it has calmed down a little bit. I mean, we just have the one tornado warning here right now, so goodness. It was scary to watch. I was worried for my friend. Yeah, that's understandable. I really hope that everybody's okay. Is there any reports of like any people injured or anything like that. I really hope not. Honestly, I might even be able to look at that myself. Here, let me pull up SPC real quickly. Let's see, look at the storm reports. Let's see here. SPC. Why is it? There we go. All right, so if I bring up the reports from earlier, I'll bring these over here so you guys can see them too. Good to have them both up. All right, so we'll go to today. Today was the 10th. Here we go. All right, so we had 10 tornado reports. I do not see any injuries on here. Brief tornado touchdown, observed tornado on the ground. Picture received brief tornado touchdown. Tornado touchdown, I-75, Justice, time radar. Multiple reports of a tornado crossing Main Street north side of Hopkins Park. Amateur radio. Indiana State Police reports tornado on the ground visible from near Indiana. Or IN. I'm assuming that's Indiana. Train spotter. See tornado. Oh, this is the Wheatfield one. Yeah. Jasper County. Spotter had a photo of the tornadoes entered Stark County. Observed tornado spotter video. Spotter said damage to numerous trees. Wow. Wow, 10 tornado reports. That's crazy. And they were all up there in oh, you know what? There's some in Texas too, I see. Yeah, there's 2 tornado reports in Texas, and then we had the other ones up in like northeastern kind of east central Illinois going into northwestern Indiana. Wow. It looked like a mini hurricane on radar. Yeah. That's crazy. Heard 2 fatalities. Oh, man. I really hope not. See, unconfirmed chasers, possible fatalities in Lake Village. Hope it isn't true. Yeah, me too. That's terrible. Just told my mom about the storms. I'm going to go to sleep now. Good night, everyone. See you later, Jess. Thanks for joining. Bonafide says, how is Jackson, Tennessee looking tonight? Let me pull it up. Let me see. That's terrible, though. I mean, I hope not. You said where again? Jackson, Tennessee. All right, so we, my friend, are in a level 2 threat. So looking at the current radar I do want to look at, there's not a whole lot happening now. It's pretty clear at the moment. The future models show kind of a line of storms approaching later tomorrow morning. Just before noon, we should have a line of storms roll through. Yeah, you can see the HRRR here. Kind of showing a pretty strong, possibly a pretty strong line rolling through at that point. I mean, you are in a level 2 slight risk here, but this shows 11 a.m. from the HRRR. But you got to take that with a grain of salt. You can't say specifically it will be at 11. The RRFS model shows it, I mean, roughly between 11 and 12, maybe. So, possible fatalities due to flooding. Oh, that's terrible. New tornado warning. Oh, is there? Oh, shoot. Yeah, it's down here. Is this the one? Oh, this is a new one. Yeah. All right, so new tornado warning in effect for southwestern Arkansas for, let's see, Foreman. Let's see, Locksburg, Provo, Derricks, or Dirks. I'm not sure how you say that one. Ben Lamond, and Aline, Foreman, and Tom. See, a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located over Arkinda, or near Foreman, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Unfortunately, we have a terrible radar selection here, though. Makes it very difficult for us to kind of see what's going on in the lower levels. Because the storm, I mean, the radar is being far away. Scanning pretty high. I mean, we're scanning at 8,000 feet here from this radar up in northwest Louisiana. Maybe we'll try the Fort Smith one. We have this one here. Yeah, Fort Smith is the best radar for both of them. Apparently, it's the closest one. Although for this, actually, you know what? No, this shows 10,000 feet. I don't know why it selected that one. Let's head over to Shreveport for the new one real quickly. Kind of a little line here. See, I don't know how they're able to figure this out. Oh, you know what? That does kind of look like some rotation out there by Arkinda. Yeah, it's just better safe than sorry. But we do need junior safe spots out there by Arkinda. Foreman, this is southwestern Arkansas, by the way. Ben Lamond, Aline Harado, I think it is. Locksburg, or Lockheesburg, maybe. Nashville, and Provo. Definitely hard to pronounce town names, of course. Then we got the other tornado warning in far eastern Oklahoma. This one includes Fort Coffee, Spiro, Panama, Cowlington, Tucker, Gans, Long, Remy, Roland, and Moffett. Yeah, these are easier to pronounce. And surprisingly, it's Oklahoma, which, usually isn't that easy. Wow, you know what? We got some really strong velocities. I mean, this is only 1,000 feet up, too. You have, yeah, that's pretty low. That's pretty low, actually. So remember, we're not scanning clouds here. We're scanning the precipitation. So, I mean, in theory, we could scan all the way to the ground if it was at a 0-degree inclination, but it would, pointing it at 0 degrees would hit objects, wouldn't be good. So, the minimum tilt is 0.05 degrees. Which, over distance, it'll climb up altitude pretty quickly. But yeah, that includes Fort Coffee, Spiro, let's see, Cowlington, Tucker, Gans, Muldrow, Roland, Moffett, Remy, and Long. You know what? Let's actually backtrack a little bit here. Velocity, there we go. Yeah, you can kind of see, I mean, it's very iffy, but you can see these layers. So the red indicates that the air is moving away from the radar, and the radar is right here, right there. So it's weird because essentially, here, let me bring up my pen so I can actually draw on my screen here. So I have the threat for tomorrow. It's definitely been busy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Started in Illinois, but mostly went south of Valpo and northeast. Yeah, that's pretty wild. But yeah, you got your radar right here, and then you got the air that's moving kind of away from the radar, and then you got the air that's moving towards the radar there. So you can just kind of see the layers. A lot of storm chasers got their windows busted out tonight. What, from debris or from hail? Or both. Probably both. All right, see you later, Ma. Thanks for joining. Got a new MCD. Oh, really? Let me pull them up. We'll see what we got going on here. Let's see here. Noah. It should be under SPC. Yeah, mesoscale discussion. Maybe. Here, maybe we'll do it on the satellite view. We'll do Noah and mesoscale discussion. There we go. Up in northern Indiana and northwest Ohio. Let's see here. Tornado info. So if we got tornadoes strength between 85 to 115 mile per hour, peak hail size between 1 to 1.75 inches in diameter, and let's see, peak wind gusts between 55 to 70 miles per hour. Wow. Hail was crazy today, was it? Yeah, I saw we had some pretty big risks here. Let's see, we had... Whoa! Holy moly. We had almost 300 hail reports. 76 of those were which significant. That's crazy. Reports of... What was the biggest hail reported today? Do you guys know? Tennis ball. I see tennis ball hail here. Yikes. 3-inch hail. Isn't tennis ball 2.5? Oh, man. Let's see. Pretty sure it is. Pretty sure. Yeah. Tennis ball is 2.5. So we had apple size hail. That's bigger than baseball size hail we had earlier. Just under softball. 5. 5 inches today? What? There's a 3.75. 4-inch hail. 5.2? Oh my goodness. 5.2-inch hail. Could you imagine how strong of an updraft you would need to loft that hail? That is unbelievable. Where was that at? So 4.5, let's see, 5.2. That was in the Illinois one, wasn't it? It was mainly hail, I think. Well, most of today's reports, yeah. There's a lot of reports. It was in Illinois and broke the record for largest hail in Illinois. Really? 5.2-inch hail is no joke, dude. That's crazy. That is actually wild, man. That's crazy. I think the biggest hail ever was 8 inches, which is bowling ball size hail. I think that was in South Dakota. South Dakota. Oh, here's another mesoscale discussion. This is probably the new one Squashy was talking about. It probably was. Or yeah. So this is one from Missouri. This is peak wind gusts between 55 and 70. Hail up to 1.25 inch. So hail shouldn't be anything significant here. And then tornado info, just peak strength between 85 to 115 mile per hour winds, or within the tornado. Man, that is crazy. That is actually crazy. Here, let's bring up our 4-hour satellite view. There you go. So if you look at it, from a satellite image perspective, it seems like a lot of the convection, is starting to. I mean, it's not as deep as convection as it was up here in Texas. You see, there was really deep convection over here by eastern Kansas and up here in northeastern Indiana. It seems like some of the heaviest, some of the deepest convection right now is up in like northeastern Indiana. Here, let's go up there real quickly. Let's hop back up there. Actually, we do have a severe warning up, I believe, on that cell. Yep, that's it. Oh, yeah, that's that little guy. Okay, so this is right here. This is warned for just winds up to 60 mile per hour and hail up to 0.75 inches. I think almost got hit by a softball hail. He said, that's crazy. That's dangerous. That's dangerous hail. If you get hit right with that, I mean, that's going to hurt. That's going to more than hurt. I mean, I'm sure that could probably kill you, unfortunately. I mean, if it hits you right, especially if there's like wind-driven hail involved, then yeah. I mean, that's kind of like getting hit by a baseball, only bigger. But, ice is much heavier. Ice is very heavy. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, honestly. Yeah, I mean, look how deep this convection is up in Indiana. It's up with that one cell we're looking at on the radar here, right in the middle panel. You guys can see that's that cell right here. Oh, are we starting to get a new plume here up by Springfield? Here, let's hop back over to Springfield. Looks like Springfield, Illinois. You know what? Oh, that's this guy right here. Yep, look at that. Springfield, Illinois is starting to get some stuff. Let's see. Hopping back down to Springfield, Missouri. We do have a bunch of just rain coming in. You know what? There's a possibility that Springfield could come out pretty lucky. Missouri, because we have one of the main. I should probably use a different color here. We have one of the main lines down here, and then we have the other main line like right here, and you can see it's kind of moving in this direction. for the most part. Actually, this one's moving a little bit more this way. There's a good shot that it's kind of open gates for Springfield to just be in kind of just some moderate precipitation. That's if it doesn't change where it's at right now. I forgot who's in the chat that was wanting me to keep an eye on Springfield, Missouri, but that could be good. All right, let's hop back down here to western Arkansas. All right, so they just canceled that one tornado warning for the area just west of Fort Smith, Arkansas. That included Rowland, Muldrow, Gans, Long, Fort Coffee. That one's no longer in effect. You guys can come out of your shelters. They do actually have a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Fort Smith, Arkansas. Potential gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Storms moving northeast at 50. Now we do have another tornado warning in effect for extreme southwestern Arkansas, including Derricks, Nashville, Bingen, I think it is, Provo, Locksburg, Ben Lamond. Let's see here: Winthrop, Aline, Foreman, Arkinda, and Tom. I probably said those names wrong for the most part, but but yeah, we do have that tornado warning in effect here. So we'll keep an eye. We got some reports coming through by Broken Bow area up in southeastern Oklahoma. Says camper reported flipped with occupants inside. No reports of injuries at the moment. Dude, that must have been crazy. I'm glad they're okay. Could you imagine being in a camper and it tipping over? That must be terrifying. Holy cow. Oh, we had another report over there too. What was that? Roof partially peeled back from a home. There must have been some really strong winds that came through here. I mean, that's crazy. We got 3 reports, pretty densely compacted there from that little line. That's crazy, dude. All right, let's hop back down. Pull back up our sat view. Definitely still have some pretty heavy convection going into Arkansas. I mean, just all together, I mean, this is pretty heavy. One thing I am noticing, though, is that it seems like a lot of these severe thunderstorm warnings are starting to downgrade in terms of max hail size and stuff like that. Most of these are now down to like quarter-sized hail, or honestly even lower in some storms here. Let's hop back up to northern Indiana here. Yeah, like these guys. This one's, 0.75 inch hail. This one's quarter size. So, I mean, it's pretty much, I think the maximum hail size in one of the in any of the warnings that we have right now is quarter size. From what I just saw, though. But let's hop back to that tornado warning here, though. Like I said, I really wish we had a better radar zone here. Kind of sucks here. I really wish we had like a radar maybe placed in like southern Arkansas, like maybe like right here. I feel like that would solve a lot of the problem of this radar hole and this radar hole right here. Let's see, we'll hop back to Shreveport radar. So that's up by Winthrop. I mean, this is scanning 7,000, 8,000 feet up. Kind of iffy data here. How much longer we got? We have 30 minutes left on that warning. Let's see. So it is a radar indicated threat, but, like I said, still need to be in your safe spot regardless. If it's confirmed or not, still need to be in your safe spot. So make sure if you have a basement or a storm shelter, you go there. If not, go to the central interior portion on the lowest floor of your home. Let's see. All right, so we got severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the next 30 minutes for Texas, including the Austin area. We still have those tornado watches in effect for southwestern Missouri into western Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma. We still got about 2 hours left on those guys. And then we have one for central Illinois for, let's see, about 30 minutes left. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the Chatham Woodside area, Springfield, Illinois. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for areas just east of Decatur, Illinois, including Long Creek, Mount Zion, Cerro Gordo, and Beemont. Also Monticello included in that one. That's for quarter hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Very scattered storms, but yeah, these guys, both of the main masses are warned here. All right, so still got that tornado warning in effect. We'll keep an eye on that, but unfortunately, like I said, the radar data is kind of iffy. You know, scanning it from that elevation is, you know, we're talking 7,000, 8,000 feet up minimum that the beam is scanning. Yeah, that's making it a little bit hard to see. Just a little bit hard to see. But by the way, guys, if y'all have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. Here, let's hop back over here to satellite imagery for a minute. So there's that. Here, let's bring up our current radar. So this is what's going on right now. And then this is the model overview. So this is how it's going to be playing out. I mean, storms really just keep going. You know, they don't really stop until the event's mostly over. You know, between now and, you know, later today, I mean, we should still be seeing just continuous strong to severe storm potential. Yeah, definitely got to keep an eye on it. Also, if you guys hear backup beepers in the background, ignore it. There's somebody across the street from us that has a semi at their house for some reason and decides to leave at 2 in the morning. But anyways, what if we have any cameras? Let's see here. Let me hop over to traffic cams. We unfortunately do not. We had some in Kansas, but the storms have already rolled through Kansas. We got some in Tennessee, but storms ain't there in Tennessee right now. Minnesota, we actually have some cameras. Maybe we can look at the snow cams, maybe. Oh, yeah, look at that. Here, let's bring you guys over that real quickly. Wait, this is out here by Minneapolis area. So that's out there in Minneapolis. Maybe we'll go a little bit further north, maybe? Oh, I can pull up more than one. What? That's crazy. Here, let's these winter weather advisories, yeah. Composite radar. Maybe we'll try these guys down here. Can't hardly see anything on that one. There we go. Yeah, it looks like we got a little bit of snow out there. Let's try Hastings. Oh, there you go. There we go. Yeah, you can see the snow coming down on those ones. Let's try up by Rush City, maybe? Oh, that's winter weather advisory. Let's click on that right there. That one don't work. We'll do the one underneath then, maybe. That one don't work either. Okay. There we go. We got a little bit. Squashy says likely spin up near Apex, Arkansas. Where? Let's see. Let's hop back over here. Where was Apex? That sounds familiar. Let me pull it up here. Oh, okay. This is on the Is it on this right here? Where is apex? Or over here? Maybe I'll just look at velocity. Maybe it might help. I really wish that this program could make it easier to find some of these areas. So, okay, Apex is over here by Midland and Hartford. Okay, I see Hartford. So, it's over here. Are you talking about this right here? Yeah, I mean, this is 1,000 feet up. You definitely got some turbulence in it. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Chris says Michigan had a severe thunderstorm warning and a winter weather advisory at the same time earlier. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, the change in air masses will do that, you know? You know, because you usually come in, like, those areas are coming in from a rather warm and moisture-filled air mass, you know, in the warm sector, and then they get the storms, and then it cools down. You know, the cooler, drier air comes over and takes over for the most part. But yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it definitely seems like these. Here, let's hop back over here. Definitely seems like we're still seeing some pretty heavy convection going on, especially out by like western Arkansas, northwest Arkansas. Here, let's bring up Shreveport radar. Something's not lining up here. Why am I looking in? Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. I was gonna say something's not lining up, but I was looking in Louisiana. Okay, there you go. Can't believe I did that. I was just sitting there like, wait, something's not lining up. I'm like, why are we having some heavy convection on the satellite imagery? I was looking at northwestern Louisiana. Oh man. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. No, but over there, that's this right here. Tornado warning is canceled. Yeah. They actually just canceled that one, thankfully. I appreciate the help, Squashy, though, for real. So we got Foreman, Winthrop, Ben Lamond, Lockheesburg. Is it Locksburg? And Nashville. So we got that. But that is now canceled. We are now just strictly on a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings. So we have one in Missouri. We have a couple, let's see, we have one in Missouri, one in Indiana. We have 3 in Arkansas and 3 in Illinois. These are all for, let's see, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Yeah, mostly 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts on these warnings here. Quarter-size hail. Oh, you know what? This one's actually 1.5. Here, let's hop over to that real quickly. Yeah, this one warning here. The one out by Mechanicsburg, as well as Mount Auburn, Elopolis, Nantic, I think it is, and Harristown. Oh yeah, look at that! Wow, you know what? That's a nice little hail core on that storm there. That's just south here of southeast of Mechanicsburg. New tornado warning? It hasn't even popped up on my end yet. Look at this. Oh, I see it. That's just south. That's just northeast of Fort Smith. Yeah, it seems like GR2 is maybe a minute or so behind of getting data. That's for these storms, right? Yeah, that's up by Alma, Mountainburg, Rudy. There it is, right there. I don't know why it's weak rotation. Probably just playing it safe. Yeah, there was a little bit of rotation there. Let me do storm relative velocity. Sometimes storm relative velocity will tell a different story because, you know, it's taking storm motion in consideration. Yeah, they're probably just trying to play it safe. But anyways, we got Rudy. This is in western Arkansas, northwestern Arkansas. This includes Rudy and Alma, also Mountainburg, and Cass. So make sure you guys are in your safe spots here. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Rudy, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Storm is moving northeast at 50 knots, so basically 55 miles per hour. Yeah, 55 right there. Hazard tornado, source radar indicated rotation. Locations in or near the path include Alma, Cass, Shibley, Bidville, Concord, Lake Fort Smith, Mountainburg, Piney, Lockheed, Turner's Bend. Let's see here. We have Fern, Furry, Rudy, Dyer, and Mulberry. See, this includes the following highways: Interstate 40 in Arkansas between mile markers 8 and 20, Interstate 49 between mile markers 22 and 32. Take cover now, move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Yeah, so if you have a basement or storm shelter, go there now. If not, go to the central interior portion on the lowest floor of your home. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. I mean, we definitely do have some pretty heavy convection. I mean, once again, if we hop back down to sat view, I mean, you can see right here. I mean, it's pretty deep. You know, there's definitely some pretty deep convection going on there. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Got a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings here. Got a 56 mile per hour wind gust been reported. Central Missouri here. 56. This was out in. If it'll pull it up here. This is out in Camden County, Missouri, from amateur radio, 3 miles west southwest of Green Bay Terrace at 6:28 UTC. So this was pretty recent, actually. Yeah, this was just moments ago. That probably... Wait, is that a new warning that they put? No. Okay. I was going to say, if that warning wasn't there, that probably prompted the warning, but probably not. But we have Brumley. Let's see here. We have Decaturville, Eldridge, Windyville. We got winds going on in Windyville. We got Buffalo, Lebanon, Sleeper, Stoutland, Richland. What the heck? How do you say that? Anyways, this is warned for 60 mile an hour wind gusts here. Could see some hail up to penny size, but penny hail isn't considered severe. You know, anything quarter size or greater is considered severe. Let's see here. Squashy says, "What is my opinion on Philadelphia? It looks like strong storms on the models." Let me look. Philadelphia. Maybe I need to go back to. Are we on 0 UTC? No, we are not. All right. Are you talking like Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? I'm assuming. Yeah. I mean, so the RRFS model shows the 0 UTC run does show a line rolling through. Maybe I'll grab a sounding. Check out the environment. Chris. Good moisture, decent wind shear, especially our lower levels are actually pretty strong. Wow, look at that. Look at that curvy hodo. That's... Whoa. Those kinematics are actually wild. 597 effective inflow layer SRH. There is a bit of a cap. I see that though, you know. If this was more of a discrete supercell environment with that kinematics, I'd actually be a little concerned. See, there's not a whole lot of instability either. It seems like, I mean, there's enough, but there's a little bit of a cap right here, so that could cause a bit of problems. The next frame is when the storm starts rolling through. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's pretty capped environment, but there should be some decent forcing from the front itself. You know what I'm saying? It does show it kind of breaking up over that area, huh? I don't know. I mean, that's pretty concerning. I mean, kinematic wise, that's crazy. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Let's hop over to HRRR here. It's good to get different models in the loop. You know, it's good to see what different models agree on and what they disagree on. So yeah, later this evening, Wednesday evening, we'll grab another sounding here. This is 7 p.m. Wednesday. Yeah, the kinematics aren't as nearly as crazy. We still do have some curvature on our HODI, so that could cause maybe a couple spin ups. Moisture, you know what's interesting? You know what I really find interesting? Is that the moisture content, at least for that time being, is not as high as what the HRRR was showing. Or, sorry, the RRFS. Kinematics are also a little bit weaker, too. Yeah, look at that. Then you can see the cold front come through and cool down those lower levels there. That's crazy. Let's see here, Chris. Oh yeah, I already responded to that. But yeah, I mean, it'll definitely be interesting. I mean, I think Philadelphia does have potential for maybe some strong storms here. Let's pull up the SPC actually. Yeah, Philly is in the slight risk. Yeah, we do have a level 2 in Philly. Let's see here. Tornado wise, that's a 2% chance. 2% tornado threat there. 15% wind threat and 5% hail threat. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. Yeah. It definitely is. I mean, look at this is a funky looking slight risk. It's a big slight risk though. I tell you that. Got 2 big SIG tornado threats here. SIG level 1. Then our wind threat. I find our wind threat kind of interesting, you know, because we have the big 30% non-hatch risk. So this area has greater probability of damaging winds, but this area down here has greater potential for stronger damaging winds. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. It's a trade-off for probability versus strength. You know, given that SIG level 1, I mean, we definitely could see some pretty gusty winds tomorrow down in the south here. ML Cape values, let's see, in order of 1,500 joules per kilogram. So it's enough. I wonder what our D Cape's going to be down here. Here, let's hop back to models for a minute. Let me grab a sounding. It's southern Louisiana. Yeah, so given we're close to the Gulf here, we have obviously great moisture content. You know, pulling in those dew points are in the upper 60s, which it's pretty good. Even lower 70s. Look at that. Surprisingly, our kinematics are actually not too bad. I mean, we got some pretty good wind shear. You know, we really do. I mean, for being this low, yeah, could definitely help organization. Good amount of instability, really. Little dry layer there, but I mean, not a bad environment. I don't think. Shows maybe a couple prefrontal storms, but it seems like multicellular for the most part. Unfortunately, yeah. Typically, when you have multicellular storms, sometimes they can not get as organized because they interfere with each other. But then we got the main line rolling through later evening tomorrow for like central Louisiana, lower central Louisiana. My neighborhood is Philly's tornado magnet. Oh yeah. Well, I hope we don't get any of that. All right, let's hop back to the to the warnings here. Yeah, tomorrow definitely could be interesting, or later today at this point. All right, tornado warning in effect here. I'm not really seeing much on velocity, I ain't gonna lie, but like I mentioned, tornado warning's still there from the Weather Service. You should still be in your safe spot, including Mountainburg area. Remember, this is western, kind of northwestern Arkansas. So, yeah, Mountainburg being your safe spot, Cass as well, Arkansas. So, just be sure that just be sure that you are in your safe spots. If you have a storm shelter or a basement, go there. If not, then go to the central interior portion on the lowest floor of your home. And if you're in a mobile home, ditch the mobile home and go find a sturdier structure there. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Hey, our severe list has gone down a bit, though. Look at that. We only got 4 severe warnings and 1 tornado warning, so our list is going down a little bit. Let's see here. New York City could, or New York City, get ready, says Chris. New York City. What does New York City have? No, New York City's out of the risk. Yeah. Day 2? Yeah, no. New York City's out of the risk. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, see you later, Squatchy. Thanks for joining, my friend. Appreciate it. Have a great night. Dallas Fort Worth radar is offline. What's the best way to get updates there? That's fair. So, well, here, let me bring up the current radar, just in general. Because I want to say, hey, we do have... Are you sure it's down? Because if it's down, then you could use, like, the local airport radar. There's 2 of them, actually, out by Dallas. If not, then you can use the one out by southwestern Oklahoma. But the problem is, though, I mean, the thing is, I don't think the radar's down, dude. Oh, wait, you know what? Hold on a minute. Let me confirm this real fast. What time is it? Yeah, it's 6:50 UTC. Yeah, last update was at 6. Okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry, to me, it looked like it was still up, which is weird. The fact that it was still loading that data here. Well, oh, you know what? you can look at this. Let me bring up the radar here. You can actually see where it went offline. You can see where they were, and then everything just stopped. And now that's that. Now that's that. But you can see. I mean, there is another radar out by Granger, the KGRK radar. Yeah, I would honestly recommend, if you're for specifically Dallas, use the terminal radars. Use the ones that are there from the from those airports and stuff. But yeah, you can see we do have a little bit of a line here just south of Dallas. I think Fort Worth area should be pretty good from much of the storms. But I will tell you this, though, there's not anything severe going on right now. And the thing is once that line pushes through, once that main line pushes through, the severe threat's over with for the most part. Because what essentially happens is you start getting a lot more stable air building into the region. You start getting more dry or more cooler air that starts, rushing into your lower levels, eventually influencing the mid-upper levels as well. But yeah, honestly, I'm not really too worried about you right now. I mean, there's no warnings in effect out there per se. Actually, matter of fact, look at this. The severe thunderstorm watch actually expires in 5 minutes. So, yeah, not too worried. Let's see. Tark says, thank you. Of course. Yeah, no problem. You're very welcome. You are very welcome, my friend. Glad to help. All right, let's hop back up here to the tornado warning. We got 1 tornado warning in effect right now. This includes not Mountainburg. It's Mountainburg. This is west central, kind of northwestern Arkansas. Mountainburg includes Cass. Like I said, I'm not seeing any like tight velocity couplets or anything like that. But like I mentioned, I mean, the warning's still there. You still need to treat it as if a tornado's on the ground. Like I said before, it don't matter if there's a tornado on the ground versus a radar indicated threat. You still need to be, in your safe spot. Still need to be in the same spot regardless. Winds and stuff started in Springfield, Missouri. Slammed my trash can against the siding. Whoa, okay. Those right there that you're probably seeing is the prefrontal winds. That's actually that advecting moisture. Because you get closer to the front, the pressure actually changes quite a bit. And, the closer you are to the front, the faster the winds are. And eventually, so you have the main line here, you have the main front. The winds are kind of moving parallel to the front itself. But behind the line, it's actually moving perpendicular most of the time. So you got the colder air coming in this way, stabilizing the environment, and you have the warm moisture-filled air coming in this way, adding the moisture and stuff like that, which the storms directly use. It looks like I just scribbled all over my screen, but yeah. Now, they'll probably be a little windy for a little bit. The line will hit. It'll be a little bit windy. On the backside, it could be even a little bit windy as well for a little bit, but eventually we'll calm down. But, like we mentioned, though, once the main line of storms does push through, then the threat's over with, because at that point, your lower levels get ruined for any future storm potential. And then eventually it just kind of squeezes all the moisture out of the lower levels, which, most of the moisture actually is in the lower atmosphere. And so basically, once the front pushes through, it kind of squeezes all that out, as a new air mass takes over, essentially. All right. But honestly, Maggie, I think you're going to be pretty okay, because if we look at the radar here, you can see that it's just kind of light to moderate precipitation. It honestly seems like there's a bit of a hole here. You kind of got lucky. Look at that. You have the one of the lines up here, and then you have the other line down here. It's literally just open, and you are right here. You're right in the middle of it. Looks like Springfield. We said, yeah, you should be fine. You should be good. Got kind of lucky, because north of you got a severe storm, and into the south you got some. So looks like nature went easy on you. Sweet. Yeah. See, if it was me, though, I'd want a good storm. That honestly, that would make me mad if I was in Springfield. I'd be like, dang it. Yeah. But you got lucky. Let's see, that storm up there in central Missouri. This is warned for, let's see here, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts here. Yep. Max hail size up to 0.75 inches. Yeah, it seems like the hail threats really went down a lot today. Right now, the severe warnings are mostly for damaging wind gust potential. Mostly up to like 60-mile-per-hour winds. So it's definitely changed. It's not as crazy as it was earlier. But unfortunately, there's still going to be potential for, all hazards, even this late at night, which is really, really, really. How many more times can I say really? Which is really why I'm live at nighttime, because there still is potential, and I want to be here at night when, unfortunately you can't really see what's going on outside. So you kind of really got to rely on radar and stuff. I love it when they're not tornadic. Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. I do as well. I don't want any tornadoes. Unless I'm a safe distance away from them and they're affecting literally nobody, then sure, bring it on. But yeah, the moment you start having tornadoes and risking people's lives and stuff like that, no, doesn't fly. All right, so looks like we did have some severe warnings up here from this group of storms heading into northwestern Ohio. It looks like that they have gone sub-severe, so they're no longer severe. We don't have any severe warnings in Indiana or Illinois anymore. Looks like all of our warnings are between Arkansas and Missouri. Got 15 minutes on that central Missouri storm, the one for Lebanon, Richland, and Brumley. But right now, the main grouping of the most active storms is in northwestern Arkansas. They got a tornado warning, tornado watch, my bad. Well, they also have a tornado warning, but tornado watch in effect for the next 2 hours. I'm going to show you guys that real quickly. Yeah, so this red, yes, Andrew, this is red right here. I'm losing my mind. I apologize, you guys. No, this big yellow block here, this is the tornado watch. Actually, I think they canceled the tornado warning. Yeah, they did. Look at that. Well, there you go. All right, so tornado warning that was in effect for Mountainburg and Cass, Arkansas, is now canceled. Oh. Ozark says, anything to worry about Springfield, Missouri area. It's funny, we were actually just talking about there. My wife is stressing out after last week's storm. No, it'll be all right. We'll be all right in Springfield, Missouri. It's funny you say that because we literally were just talking about Springfield. So if I pull up the radar here, you can see that there is a bit of kind of moderate precipitation, light to moderate precipitation. You'll probably be getting some rain for a little bit, but it should just be a kind of a consistent normal rain. It shouldn't be anything severe, honestly. I mean, yeah, you're in the severe risk area, but, as you can see on the observations, nowcasting, I mean, this right here is where the main line is right there. And then this is another line over here. These are moving away. They're moving away. And Springfield's right here. There's just this kind of open gate right here that's just leading you into a bunch of just kind of moderate precipitation. But there definitely still could be some gusty winds on it. But more than likely, it's not going to be anything severe. So, looking at the radar, I mean, for any rotation or anything like that, I don't see nothing. I don't see any rotation or anything. So you're good. Tell her not to worry about it. It'll be all right. It will be okay. Let's see. But we do have one severe warning up in Missouri. That's actually northeast of Springfield quite a bit, but this is moving away from you guys. This is for Lebanon, Sleeper, Stoutland, Richland, Swedenborg, I think it is. Brumley, and I have no idea how you pronounce that one. Let's see here. 60 mile per hour wind gust and hail up to 0.75 inches. Ozark says, thank you. Sorry to make you repeat it. She woke me up if I tuned in. No, you're good. No, don't apologize. There's no reason you should. It is all good. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. I am here for you guys. I'll be here to answer any questions you all might have. All right, let's see here. Okay, so we do have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings. We have 3 of them here in Arkansas. One of them is a continuation of another warning. Okay, so these guys, we have a severe warning in effect. So here's Arkansas. This includes Mulberry, Ozark, Altus. This one's in effect for 60 mile per hour wind gusts here. It does have a tornado possible tag on it. Just because there's a tornado possible tag does not mean that there will be a tornado involved. It just means that, yeah, tornadoes are possible and cannot be ruled out. Therefore, you should keep an eye on the storm. But if it was in an imminent danger for a tornado, say if they thought that there would be a tornado involved, then they'd probably just go ahead and issue a tornado warning. But yeah, tornado tag storms does not mean that there will be a tornado. Nor does it mean you have to be in your shelter. Although I would recommend being in your safe spot away from windows and stuff in the particular storm itself, because there could be some damaging wind gusts still involved. It could pick up a little bit of debris. Just best to stay away from windows and stuff here for the most part. Then, of course, we have a storm up to the north here. This is for St. Paul, northwest Arkansas, including Huntsville and Japton. This warning is in effect here for 60 mile per hour wind gusts and hail up to 0.75 inches. So, yeah, pretty low end. But yeah, these are literally the only warnings we have right now. Storm is definitely, dying down a little bit. But like I mentioned, unfortunately, though, the threat's going to continue overnight for a little bit. Even now, unfortunately, which is why I want to be here for you guys. But if you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. If there's any zip codes or anything like that you want to pull up, I can show you kind of what's generally going on in the risk area, where that region is, and we can talk about any questions you guys might have. Absolutely. All right, let's hop back over here for a minute. So we bring up the day 1 outlook. So this is the risk here for later on today. Unfortunately, yet again, later today we're going to have another decent shot at severe weather. This is a pretty decent size level 2 slight risk here in the yellow. That covers a pretty good chunk of the country. So we do have quite several states involved here. In the slight risk region from the southeast through the Ohio Valley into the mid-Atlantic even. So definitely got to be weather aware here. Now, in terms of the tornado probability, they have 2 different levels in terms of probability. The green being a 2% chance probability for seeing a tornado within a 25-mile radius of a given area. Then we have the brown, which would indicate a 5% chance. So the probability would be 2.5 times greater than the 2%. So then that's that. Then we have the the severity level. So we have you can see the dashed line area. This is our SIG level 1 threat. And what that means is that across the dashed regions here, depending on the probability, you can see we have the 2% in the green and the 5% in the brown. But the dashed area shows the region in which we could see tornadoes up to EF2 strength in theory. But it could be a little stronger. Obviously nature can be a little unpredictable sometimes. I mean, it's not saying that for 100% sure all tornadoes will remain under, EF2 or under. But it just means the majority of them should be under EF2. If that makes sense. EF2 or under. So that would be for a SIG level 1, which we do have those 2 areas for tomorrow. And that's max as of right now. It's only a SIG level 1. Now, if it was a SIG 2, then it would be tornado strength up to EF3. A SIG level 3 would be a tornado strength EF4, EF5. But no, we are at a maximum SIG level 1 risk here for tomorrow for tornadoes here. And like I said, probability is off the color. The green here is a 2% chance. The brown's a 5% chance. So hopefully that kind of helps clear some things up with some of you guys. I know they just recently did this whole SPC Outlook. They overhauled it. It's the first year that they're putting it into service. Ignore me putting on my glasses. I'm just doing that because my eyes get really affected from the monitors, having them because I actually have 5 monitors up right here, so it can be a little hard on my eyes, and the glasses do help. But yeah, I mean, 5% in the brown, 2% in the green here. Damaging winds. We have kind of an interesting setup here for tomorrow for damaging winds. You notice how we have a couple of different things going on. We have the brown area, which is 5% chance for damaging wind gusts. The yellow, 15%. And then we even have a red, which is a 30% wind risk here. And then you might have noticed the SIG level 1 for damaging winds down here. So this is saying that, in the south, for the entire SIG risk, we have a 15% wind threat. We could see some damaging winds, possibly above 70 miles an hour tomorrow, in terms of gusts. So could see some pretty strong wind gusts here for tomorrow down here. While the probability is higher up north, the potential for stronger damaging winds is existing down south. Does that make sense? So you can kind of see how now they can really show you which area has a better probability of seeing damaging winds versus what area has a better potential of seeing stronger damaging winds. And that's kind of all this is about here, is showing that, the north, the northeast out by the mid-Atlantic, the Ohio Valley, these areas could see, a good quantity worth of damaging wind events. Meanwhile, down south, I mean, it's still decently possible, but we could see maybe some stronger ones, if that makes sense. Now, in terms of hail, we do actually have an upgrade to our hail threat here. We do have a 5% chance here in the brown and, the 15% chance here in the yellow. So we'll definitely keep an eye out there for hail tomorrow as well. We'll see what happens. Maggie says the winds are definitely loud. Are they? Yeah, they'll probably be a little gusty. But they shouldn't be anything like, extremely damaging or anything like that. They're not you're not in any warning or anything like that. Those are non-convective winds. Those are just from the line itself. From the pressure change itself. But anyways, we have a big old grouping of severe warnings down here. Yeah, so these are mostly up to 60 mile per hour wind gusts and all. But all right, everybody. Honestly, I think I'm probably going to roll off here for now. I might actually hop back on later tonight, maybe in a couple of hours. It just depends on what's going on. But it seems like things have kind of died down quite a bit. So I think I'm probably going to call it a stream here for now. But I'll be back live. I'm not going to be for sure. I'm not saying 100% we will be live later again this morning. But I might come back here in a little bit. I'm just going to head off for now. Let's see. Christian says, what about Nashville for tomorrow? So yeah, Nashville is actually in the level 2 threat, I believe. Yep. So Nashville, we do have a level 2 slight risk here. So you have a 2% chance for tornadoes. You have a 15% chance for damaging wind gusts and a 5% chance for hail here overall. So, it is a triple threat. Your main concern is going to be maybe some gusty winds. Then maybe a little bit of hail, and then of course, maybe a low-end tornado threat, which, tornadoes in terms of strength, you're outside of the SIG risk. So, if we did get tornadoes, they would likely remain fairly weak, between EF0, EF1 in theory. And then, of course, we do have the 15% wind threat, potential wind gusts upwards of 60 to 65 miles per hour, 15% chance of that. And then lastly, a 5% chance for hail, mostly between 1 to 1.5 inches in diameter. So, anyways, let's see here. Maggie says, have a great night. Thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Last thing, what about Huntsville, Alabama? Of course. So Huntsville, Alabama, we also have a level 2 threat, level 2 slight risk here. Tornado probability is actually right on the border of just a normal 2% in the SIG level 1. So out here by Huntsville, the tornadoes in theory could be a little stronger, maybe upwards of EF2 in theory, EF0 to EF2. Given that we do have that SIG level 1 risk here. Now, in terms of damaging winds, we have a 15% chance here for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, 60 to 65 or so. And then, of course, also 5% hail threat. So it's relatively the same threat as it is for you over there in Nashville. But it is, we just have a little bit of a bump up in the tornado threat. Same probability while, it's the same in the probability of seeing the tornado for both areas. But the intensity could be a little stronger down there. Okay. But, all right, everybody. Well, I think I'm going to head off for now. I'll probably be back on maybe in a little bit. Just give it a couple hours or whatever. If storms are still going on, I might pop back in. I'm just going to go grab me some food and stuff like that and relax for a little bit. Because actually, I've done a little bit of streaming before this on my other channel, which is my other channel I run. And then, of course, now hopping on this one. So I've been streaming for like hours. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Like I said, I might come back on later. Just depends on what the weather's doing at the time. And if it dies down completely, if it looks like it is right now, then it probably won't come back on. But if it starts picking up again, then I'll probably come back for a little bit. Thank you for the information. Of course. No problem, man. Got you. But if you guys did enjoy it, leave a like. Maybe hit that subscribe button on the way out. It'd be much appreciated. But if there's any questions you guys also have, feel free to join our Discord. It is down in the description. You guys can join it, and you can chat in there if y'all have any questions or whatever as well. I'm pretty active in the Discord, so that is down there as well if you would like to check that out. But all right, everybody. Well, thank you all so much for stopping by. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you for everybody who has supported us, all the donators. I really appreciate you guys. Once again, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for the kind love and support here. It's greatly appreciated. But all right, everybody. Well, you guys take care. Y'all be safe out there. And all right, everybody. We'll see y'all here in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See ya later on.